The dance and musical theatre industry has built a massive reputation for itself, with their performers struggling with mental health and anxiety. There's been a lot of pressure on teachers and schools recently that they are creating students that struggle in these areas. And yes, it is the school's responsibility to look at the performers they're creating and reflect on the work that they do and the way they treat their students and the outcomes that they are achieving. But what I will say about mental health, anxiety and performers is that this is a generational issue that has been going on for a long, long time, much longer than the recent years when we are talking about it more. Just as it was a touchy subject to talk about mental health in men in football and rugby, it was a touchy subject to talk about performers and eating disorders and mental health and all the issues that come with that. And in the last few years, the conversations about it have been massive, and it has been brought to everyone's attention that it has been an issue that's been going on for a really long time. And one of the hardest things about talking about something that hasn't been spoken about for years is that people want to place the blame. They want to put the blame somewhere immediately. They want to blame teachers, they want to blame schools, they want to blame the people that trained them. But because it's such a generational issue and because the expectations of the industry are so high, it's not any singular person's fault. It's the industry and the standards that it asks for that creates this environment. And everyone's been asking for years, what is the problem? What do we need to change? How do we make the industry a better mental space for performers? Do we change the expectations? But the truth is that the industry would have to change as a whole. The expectations, what performers look like, what they sound like, would have to change entirely for these expectations to just disappear and go away. And it's impossible to forget that as performers that you have to look, sound and be a certain way to fit a certain character, and that is just the expectation. So do we accept as performers that that is the way it has to be and we can't change that? Or do we try to change the whole industry as an entirety? But we all know after generations and generations of an industry, it's unlikely that the idea of what it's meant to be is ever going to truly fade away. And honestly, I think this makes being a teacher or being a school for performing in this day and age a really difficult job, because you're trying to balance having successful performers and telling them what they really need to get into the industry and to do well in the industry, and also being a soft place to land and someone to look after their headspace at the same time, because being a performer is not for the weak. And I'm pretty sure if you talk to any performer, including myself, that they will tell you that they have had a hard time with mental health and with anxiety and with performing and everything that comes with performing. It's a universal experience. But would you argue that that could happen in any job and you could have these experiences anywhere in life? They're just normal life experiences. Or would you argue that it's more so in performing?